Yeah, this is Steve, back with another video here on Spring Holler Farm. Just want to talk about these sheds a little bit. Apparently nobody gets to see my videos anymore anyway. I'm making them for myself. But yeehaw, right? This nice old shed here, as you can see, it's been around for a long time. It needs a few repairs, but it's actually not in bad shape. We just painted most of it last year, but you can see it's up on rocks down there. The windows are old wooden windows. This one still slides up and down. The one on the other side got broke. See up underneath the eaves there, it's all made with real wood, but the edge of those shingles is starting to give way and the wood's starting to get wet on the edge. I need to do something about that in the next few years. It's not really a big rush, and they threw a bunch of stuff underneath of it. I've dragged most of it out. Most of it was junk. Had a nice flower stand though, a nice antique flower stand. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm not going to walk all the way over there to show you, but that right there. Need to put some weight on the bottom. I can put flowers on it. Now the shed itself is in pretty good shape. I'm not going to go in, but I'm going to show you what's inside here. Got shelves on the back there. A little bit of wood up on the roof. They just used what they had for decking on the roof. Got a big old antique mirror out here. Got all kinds of weird stuff in here. This kind of a throwaway spot. I got a rat trap that's been tripped and no rat in it. But the cats like to come in here when they're outside. Might use that more and more as time goes on. Just let this be the cat's house. This is what we call the cat shed, because when we first moved here, we put the cats in this shed and gave them food and water and let them stay in here for about a week, and then we let them out so they get used to where home was. Anyway, very well built shed, but it's also getting old. Rats and mice get in it. But this little shed, I don't know who built it. I don't know if this is a company or a design, but you can see they use nails instead of screws, so it was that long ago. But the reason I wanted to talk about this shed is different. When they built this shed, you can see they made it nice and tight around the bottom down there. And look at the door. That door shuts. You hardly see any light coming around it. A little at the top up here, none at the bottom. You can see there where they caulked all around the edges, all the way down the sides and everything. Everything's sealed up nice and tight, both ends. A few moths get in here, but in this area, wasps are a big problem. Mud wasps, they come in and make nests everywhere. You probably saw them in the old other shed. I knocked most of them down, but they come back. You don't see a single mud wasp nest in here. Something else you don't see is any sign of rodent activity. And this is where I usually keep my critter food. I need to go to the store because I just took the last bag out there, but this is where I store my chicken feed, my pig feed, and I've never, in over a year, had a single rodent problem. Now, this window back here, I opened the one side just to let fresh air in. You can see it's having a little bit of a problem with water blowing in when it rains, but I don't know, maybe put a coat of paint on it, but that's not the point. I thought for sure I'd have a problem with something like a raccoon or something trying to get in through that. Nope. This little shed, very well built. Also, very stuffy. I didn't even have it latched. That might have explained some of the light coming around, because you gotta push it tight to latch it, and that's hard to do from the inside. So if anybody ever wants to build you one of these little sheds, I don't know if this is a kit or what, like I said, but that caulking around the edges goes a long way to making a nice shed. That thing's been there more than 10 years, I know, and it is still solid as a rock. Door shuts perfectly. I don't know who did it, but I'd like to hire him to do a bunch of stuff, but he did a good job. So that's the extent of that video. those are the two sheds we have here. Now, we do have two carports over there behind the trailer and the van, and they're bolted down to the ground pretty good, and they're very well built. They ain't going anywhere. That old shed for the chickens, way out in the back out there. It's a lot older. I don't know how many years old. I'd say 30, 40, 50. Probably built around the same time as that shed. But still pretty darn solid. Termites have had a good time on one part of it. But I sprayed for them. I need to spray for them again. But in the meantime, pretty darn solid. Pretty darn solid. Thanks for watching. Give us that thumbs up. And we'll look for you on the next one.